Hey YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are talking about that one time I got my eyebrows tattooed on my face. No, I'm not talking about microblading. I'm literally talking about getting a tattoo on my eyebrows. As you see them now, my eyebrows have no makeup on them. These are my new brows. Do they look like real eyebrows? I've seen lots of videos online about the whole microblading process, but I have not seen a lot of videos on getting your eyebrows tattooed, especially getting your eyebrows tattooed on dark skin, and especially getting your eyebrows tattooed on dark skin in Italy. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about my experience so you know it could be out there. If you guys aren't following me already on Instagram or Twitter, you should be following me on there. If you are following me on Instagram, you would have already known about my eyebrows being tattooed and you would have seen most of the process and most of the healing process. But now, since we're on YouTube, I'm going to do a big summary of everything, put in all the before and after and during shots so we can get a better idea of eyebrow tattooing. This video is actually being done in collaboration. It is sponsored by Foreo. If you guys don't know, Foreo is a Swedish brand that specializes in skincare devices. And in this video, I will be demonstrating the use of the Foreo UFO Mini. The Foreo UFO Mini is basically a device that is supposed to take your facial masks to the next level. They use a combination of technologies such as RGB LED lights and the patented hyperinfusion technology, which is a combination of thermotherapy, chirotherapy, and T-sonic pulsations, all of which allow you to get the most out of your facial masks. On their site, they say the UFO is best for serious skincare enthusiasts looking to get the most out of every mask, those who want the redness-reducing, depuffing benefits of chirotherapy, and those who want access to the entire range of UFO smart mask treatments. I personally love the device and having the chance to test it out, so thanks again, Foreo, for sponsoring this video. First things first, what is the difference between getting your eyebrows microbladed and getting your eyebrows tattooed? The main difference is the technique, okay? The way that my tattoo artist explained it to me is the fact that, microblading is a mechanic technique and tattooing is an automatic technique. The tool that you use to do the microblading process is essentially, you're cutting cuts into the skin and putting pigments in it, and that's how they get the technique. Whereas with the tattoo process, she's actually using a machine that is poking the pigment into your skin. Fun. One question that a lot of people ask me is if it hurt. Yes, it hurt a lot. I mean, obviously it was bearable. I sat there and I did the whole thing, but I had tears involuntarily flowing out of my eyes throughout the whole process. So there's that. Before getting my eyebrows tattooed, I tried to do as much research as possible, but honestly, there wasn't a lot of information out there. And like I said, it got even harder if I was looking for examples on dark skin because, our skin heals differently, our skin takes pigments differently, so, what could work out really great for your average white girl on us could be a total disaster. But I had seen that a lot of my friends that went to this girl and got their eyebrows tattooed look amazing afterwards. And she did have one black client before me, Loretta Grace. I'm sure you guys know of her. And so from all of these things together, I was like, you know what? I'ma just do it, because I didn't see any examples here in Italy of other people that knew how to do microblading. Well, do microblading to the way that I would have wanted it to look on me. And I also didn't know anybody else that was doing tattoos the way Yelenia was doing tattoos. So since Yelenia was the best work I had seen done, it had inspired me to try the whole tattooing process as opposed to the microblading process that I was gonna do because, that's what everybody talks about on the internet and that's all you ever see. But it's not necessarily better. After getting my eyebrows tattooed, I think I have to say that I prefer the tattooed method to the microblading method. First of all, from what I've seen watching a bunch of videos on microblading, the healing process is a lot different. For example, one big difference is when you get your eyebrows microbladed, apparently you're not supposed to wash your face for like a week, I think it is, or wash your eyebrows, get them wet for a week. That is not the same with getting your eyebrows tattooed. Actually, when you get your eyebrows tattooed, you have to wash your face so that the tattoo can heal and the cells can reproduce and you can have, the turnover. I'm not great with the technical terms, but you have to wash your face. So that makes things a little bit less uncomfortable, I think. I remember when I would get eyelash extensions and the idea of not being able to have any oily product touch your eyebrows was actually very annoying and difficult for me. So I can also imagine having to wash the rest of your face but not being able to touch your eyebrows. That sounds like it would just be annoying to me. Second of all, just like with microblading, you do have to get your eyebrow tattooed touched up. They usually recommend a month after you get the initial tattoo, you go and get it touched up. I ended up, because of vacations and trips and works and schedules, I got my tattoo at the beginning of December and I ended up getting it touched up mid-February, actually, Valentine's Day. I have to say, there are a lot of different variables, okay? Everybody heals differently. Some people's skin take the pigment better than other people's skin. Personally, for me, I saw that in general, in most cases, when you saw the fully healed eyebrow with the microblading technique, you could tell that they had gotten their eyebrows microbladed, but let's just say that a month later, they were already quite faded. Whereas with the tattoo, you're still gonna see each individual hair a month later. After getting my eyebrows touched up, we're almost 2 weeks in, and I can still see the individual hairs in my eyebrows. The healing process just seems a lot different, and it seems to me that you see the eyebrows a lot more with the tattoo with respect to with the microblading. If anybody thinks differently, feel free to leave a comment about it, but just from watching lots of microblading videos and watching how my skin healed with the tattoo, that's the impression that I get. From my research, the cost of getting it microbladed versus tattooed seems to be pretty around the same. When I was looking at getting my eyebrows microbladed, I was actually looking at going to London to get them done. And there I saw it was about 450 pounds to get it done. So the cost of getting your eyebrows tattooed by Yelenia, the girl that I went to, who is awesome, I love her and I'm gonna talk about the experience in a sec, is 500 for the initial tattoo, 150 euros for the touch-up, so you're at 650 for the touch-up, and then after that you should get your eyebrows touched up annually, and it would be 250 each annual touch-up. So you can do your math on whether that works for you or whether it doesn't work for you, but like I said, there are some people whose eyebrows last much more than a year. They won't start fading until after 2 years, and there are other people whose eyebrows may start fading beforehand. Personally, from what I see, that's the price, and it's quite similar to getting your eyebrows microbladed anyways. So in terms of the whole process, I went to a girl named Yelenia Camarieri, and basically the first thing that I did was I had to set up an appointment, and since she's literally the best in Milan, she does have a pretty long waiting list, like a 6-month waiting list. I kid you not, I booked in July, got an appointment for December. Everybody goes to her, she's pretty much the best, and that's why. So first thing was first, I had to send Yelenia a picture of my eyebrows initially, and y'all all know what my eyebrows look like initially. Very sparse, very light, and so unless I actually did them, you weren't gonna see my eyebrows on camera very well. So then from how your eyebrows are, that kind of also determines the price, because if you have to get more work done than normal, it's gonna cost more, obviously. So then I made my appointment. I went to her in December. She's super nice, has a great bedside manner, great with jokes and stuff. I felt really calm and really al mio agio. The process itself starts with her first designing with a pencil your eyebrows, so then you can tell her which shape you want. So for me, she had done actually 2 shapes. She showed me one shape with less of an angle and one shape with more of an angle. I picked the one that was less of an angle, and she put them on, she made my eyebrows. She does it according to the shape of your face and everything, but she does give you some variation. And yeah, so you're able to pick what your eyebrows are supposed to look like. Then she does the first pass. The first pass with her is actually without anesthetic, and then the second pass is with anesthetic. Honestly, you guys, for me, it felt the same. With or without the numbing it hurt, I'm not gonna lie. And I mean, I do have a tattoo on my rib cage, which I don't remember hurting as much as my eyebrows did. I'm not gonna downplay the pain. If you have a low pain tolerance, this might not be for you. So then she does the eyebrows and you see them and you're like, oh my God. And then like 30 minutes later, you're gonna look crazy, because the way that it is like you're making a wound on the muscle in your eyebrows. And so your brows might tense up. There will be mornings when you wake up after this process where you'll have one eyebrow up here and another eyebrow down here and be like, what the F? And I noticed that more when I got the touch up. When I first did it, I didn't have any issues with shape or anything. For a second, I thought that this eyebrow was a bit too long. It is longer than this eyebrow, but honestly, I feel like with the shape of my face, that's how it's supposed to be. So I got over that and I grew to like it. Then a month goes by, it heals. It was very interesting, the healing process, because everybody else is like, well, the healing process is exactly like that of a normal tattoo. Like I had that, it was shedding essentially. When I got my tattoo on my side, there was no shedding, there was nothing. It just kind of like healed and I had a tattoo. So I was kind of weirded out to see the healing process on my eyebrows, because I didn't know that's what it's supposed to be. And when you first get your brows tatted, like they look amazing. Then you start to lose some pigments in spots. And there was a point where like all the pigment right here just was gone. And I texted Elenia and I was like, oh my God, what did I do? Did I do something wrong? I can't believe this. And she's like, no, that it takes time for it to, basically like new skin to heal and come up with the pigment. That makes sense. Just like with a tattoo. So it did take about 2 to 3 weeks for me to see what my eyebrows actually looked like. And I think the actual date is after 30 days, you see what your eyebrows are gonna actually look like. Then right before the retouch, they did look pretty faded, but they didn't look bad. I could still see individual hairs. They were just a little bit lighter. So I had gone back to like filling in my eyebrows when I was wearing makeup. But as you can see, I'm wearing makeup, but nothing on my eyebrows. And I think that my eyebrows still look the way they're supposed to. So yeah, then you get your eyebrows touched up, and once I got my eyebrows touched up, I did experience a bit of that unevenness when it was first healing, and I was quite nervous, but then everything just regularized itself. Another thing is when you do get your eyebrows tattooed, you're not supposed to put any products on them for the first two weeks, if I remember quite correctly. No products except for this moisturizing cream that Yelena gives you. And so I'm going on 2 weeks, or maybe it was 2 weeks on Friday. I'm going on 2 weeks this Friday from my touch up. And once it's like 2 weeks, you can basically say they're healed, but really you see the final product in 30 days. And you won't get it unless you're a person with imperfect to barely visible eyebrows. That's gonna be it. Have you guys ever gotten your eyebrows tattooed? Have you ever gotten your eyebrows microbladed? What do you think about the argument? Do you prefer microblading or do you prefer tattooing? Do you have any tips for somebody that is thinking about getting their eyebrows tattooed or microbladed? Leave them in the comment section down below. As always, I hope you guys like this video. Be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in my next one.